Hello there guys, it's Captain Invisible here and welcome to a very special treat for you. This is actually going to be a Medieval 2 Total War online commentary battle for the first time in what seems like forever. And this is me playing as Russia in a 2 vs 2 with Criminal Copykill, a very good player and a fellow as a fellow decent veterinary player on Medieval 2, and we are up against, when I get the name, Pike and Shot and the Grailknights Storm. So again, it's quite a decent. It's going to be quite a decent game with a few very good players in it. And as I say, it's the first one I've done in a while. I've just not had any real decent games, and I've obviously not been playing online that much since Attila came out as well. So I've been kind of short on really good games to record. But this one I found was quite interesting. A nice 2 vs 2 with some very interesting factions. I mean, Denmark and Russia. Very unique factions, definitely not ones I see very often. So yeah, I thought I'd give Russia a try. It is a high period game, so they don't get access to the Sarsgaard, hence why I didn't bring them. But they should still prove to be quite valuable. They've got the dismounted Devar and they've got sort of a nice mix of infantry, so yeah, they make for quite a good faction in high period games. So the rules were max 6 cav, I believe, no artillery, elephants or gunpowder, and the money was, I want to say 1250k, very possibly. I know it was slightly less than 15k, I believe. So yeah, again a very interesting rule set, because they usually are 15k battles, so having that slightly less money did really make it quite interesting. So yeah, as I say, I'm playing as Russia, and Criminal Copykill has brought Denmark, and then we've got, as I say, Grailknights Storm with France, and Pike and Shot has brought the Holy Roman Empire. So 2 very centralized factions, and then some very obscure northern European factions. So it should be, as a very interesting battle. As it's probably not immediately noticeable due to all the missiles Criminal Copykills brought, but the plan was basically to rush. We've brought kind of a bit of Rushy armies, but as I say, with all the missiles you can't really tell. Certainly Russia is perfect for rushing due to its dismounted Devar being, you know, excellent in melee as well. So yeah, Russia was definitely quite a nice pick for rushing, and obviously, you know, Denmark is kind of a rushy faction anyway. So we'll just go over my army very quickly. I've got 3 units of woodsmen. I've got 4 units of dismounted Devar. Then I've got a mixed line of 4 Badish axemen, and then 3 units of the dismounted Boyarsons. Russia does suffer from really terrible infantry, but the Badish axemen are quite nice for the price, even though they are 2-hander unit and they do have the glitch. They only cost about 390 florins, I believe, so they are extremely cheap, and for that price they do pretty well, cost effectiveness wise. And then I decided to bring 5 units of Drezina, the mounted Drezina. The reason I brought 5 was Russia doesn't really have any decent heavy cav in high periods other than the Drezina, so yeah, I thought I'd just bring 5 of them, and it makes micromanaging them a lot easier, because you've got 5 of them, you can select them quicker than if, say, my infantry line, because I've mixed them in with each other, it's going to be hard for me to micromanage such an infantry line, whereas my cavalry is just all the same unit, so I can micromanage it a bit easier. It is a bit more expensive, but it's easy to micromanage that way. And then I've got my general in a general's bodyguard with some sweet defense upgrades, giving them plate armor. So criminal Copperkill has, I believe, 4 units of crossbowmen. He's got, I believe, looks like 4 units of Huskals, a unit of Chivalric Knights, and a general's bodyguard. And then he's got a mixed infantry line, some dismounted Huskals, some dismounted Chivalric Knights, 2 dismounted Chivalric Knights, 3 dismounted Chivalric Knights, he probably has another one, 4 dismounted Chivalric Knights, and then I think about 5 units of Norse swordsmen. So not the Norse swordsmen are quite a nice infantry unit, very cheap. They cost about 400 florins, and they are pretty decent for the price. They're not excellent, but again, a nice mid-tier swordsman to bring to the battle. So we'll take a look at Grailknights Storm. He's not brought any archers with France, so he's definitely going for a rushy army. He's got 2 units of peasants. He's got a mixed cavalry force of Chivalric Knights and Noble Knights. Looks like he's got 4 Chivalric Knights and a Noble Knight, and then his General's Bodyguard. Then he's got 2 units of Flemish pikemen. And then possibly 4 units of dismounted Chivalric Knights. And then some armoured sergeants on this flank. So he's got some pikemen on that flank, some armoured sergeants on this, and a Chivalric Knight line to hold the centre. It looks like he's also got another Flemish pikeman here on this flank. But as I say, no missiles, so he's definitely going for a rush army, which against Denmark is not the best thing to do. And it looks like Pike and Shot's gone for a completely different approach. He's gone for quite a lot of missiles. So he's got 2 units of peasant crossbowmen up front. He's got, I believe, 4 units of Pavis crossbowmen, supported by 4 units of armoured sergeants in loose formation. He's got his general's bodyguard back here with 4 units of dismounted Imperial Knights. Yep, and then he's got, I think, 2, 3, 4 units of Teutonic Knights and a mounted sergeant unit. So some very heavy cavalry from the Holy Roman Empire. So we'll see how well that fares him in this battle. I think the Teutonic Knights are definitely better than the Dracaena, but the Dracaena can put up a fight in melee. They've got armor-piercing axes, so they'll do quite well. So, as I say, we were going for a kind of a rushy army, and this game should highlight the effectiveness of teamwork. We saw that the Holy Roman Empire and France were kind of almost split up. There's obviously this gap here, but as you can see, the Holy Roman Empire doesn't have much support on this flank. All his power is on this side, so he's looking to outflank my position. And seeing that, I knew that this side would be weaker to attack the Holy Roman Empire from. So I shift my army. I let Criminal Copperkill know that we are going to attack. And I shift my army this way to try and take advantage of France's left flank, whilst also engaging the Holy Roman Empire's right flank. So we're just going to rush up, and I think in a second the Holy Roman Empire, Pike and Shot, notices what I'm doing, and he starts sending his cavalry up this way. Unfortunately, or fortunately for me, he's actually sending it around my infantry line over here. This is a mistake. This is what I wanted him to do, because if he's going this way, he's taking way too long to actually engage. If he would have just gone straight across here, he could have rolled up my line, and that could have been the end of my force. So whilst he's trying to reposition, I get some decent charges off against some of these spearmen and some of his crossbowmen, and France tries to stop my advance, but we catch his cavalry off guard as well. As you can see, the Holy Roman Empire is trying to send his cavalry round. He's getting some success against my woodsmen, but he sends all his cav here, and I just send 2 units of Dracaena just to hold off the mounted sergeants and Teutonic Knights, and the rest of my cavalry is rushing around over here, taking on France. These cavalry do get caught up on pikemen, but fortunately they're not in pike formation, so I'm going to get quite a few kills on that side, and I'm being supported by some Danish infantry. I've got another unit of Dracaena running around trying to get some hammer and anvils on that flank, and now my infantry's engaged. These spearmen are going to take some nasty hits from my axemen. Even my woodsmen are getting involved.
The enemy are badly blooded. They have lost half their men.
My cavalry does get quite outmatched on this flank, but they are holding the enemy up, and it's giving me a chance to pepper them with archer fire from my Dracaena. No, not Dracaena, dismounted Devar. And somewhere on the battlefield, I'll just slow it down, we kill the enemy general. I believe it's over on this side. So the Holy Roman Empire general is now dead, so that will affect his men's morale. And the armor-piercing axes of the Dracaena really do help. So I've got some more support coming into Denmark. He is holding up quite well on his flank. His cavalry's still running hammer and anvils and just running around causing chaos. His superior mass of infantry is what's winning in the day against the French chivalric knights. This side breaks completely, and with the general dead, I'm able to break some of these spearmen units and the Imperial Knights with my superior numbers of infantry as well. Some nice close-up fights, axe versus mace. Very nice. The Holy Roman Empire still does have a lot of these Imperial Knights free, and as you can see, he's been shooting at my general all this time, and he's taken him down to three men. A very unlucky general, but it has kept most of my other units alive. And I'm hoping that my cavalry, that is now super depleted, can hold out whilst I get some support in with my dismounted boyarsons, but it looks like the Holy Roman Empire sees what I'm doing and is going to pull out of that engagement. Again, I've still got dismounted Devar firing at the cavalry, and it's doing some damage. It's wearing them down over time. So we'll just play this normal speed.
The battle is very much in our favor. If we remain true and steadfast, victory will be ours.
So I've got support coming in from the dismounted boyarsons, and it's going to cause these Imperial Knights to waver and eventually break. We've still got this Imperial Knight to break through, and we've still got some Imperial Knights over here fighting.
General has thrown his life away, and perhaps our
but as you can see, my general dies there to the crossbow fire, so that was a bit tough. And this infantry unit unfortunately gets caught by the the Teutonic Knight charge.
Lord, only half of our force remains.
And now he's going to be able to get into my archers. But as I say, fortunately the dismounted Dover are actually pretty nice in melee. So his cavalry is going to have a hard time really breaking through them, and it will give my infantry the time it needs to surround his own infantry. Although they are struggling with the morale. As I say, Russia's infantry just doesn't have the morale to to stand up. Once the general dies for Russia, it's pretty pretty bad for them. And now the Teutonic Knights are free to charge the rear of my infantry, and they're going to get some nice charges off against my my infantry, which breaks them on this flank. Fortunately, because of my assistance on this flank, Denmark has come through with quite a lot of troops. I mean, it wasn't purely down to me. He obviously, Criminal Copperkill is a really good player, and he did an excellent job on his flank, but he has come out with quite a lot of cavalry, and a lot of his infantry as well. So even though I'm weakened, I've managed to hold off the Holy Roman Empire and even send some support to his own fight, and that's allowed us to take advantage of the separation between them. So we've got some Danish infantry support for my poor British axemen on this flank, and I've also got some archer fire coming in from my archers, some fire arrows to hopefully break these Imperial Knights, and it looks like they do break, making our job a bit easier. So the Grailknights Storm has admitted defeat, so a good game to Grailknights Storm. It was a very well fought battle on his side, but as I said, the support from me was just a bit too much on his flank. And now the Danish have got all their cavalry and infantry marching towards the last defence of the Holy Roman Empire. This last stand with these Teutonic Knights charging bravely into the Huskarls of Denmark, and a couple of infantry units here and there. And I've managed to survive with a couple of these British axemen and a dismounted Devore unit. The British axemen, as I say, and they're not the best infantry, but for their price, they are a really excellent unit. Yeah, even with sort of 19 men left, they've managed to come back to take part in the final assault against the Holy Roman Empire. So I admire the bravery of the British axemen. As I said, they do also have armor piercing, so they are quite a nice infantry unit in that respect, but the two-handed book just ruins them a little bit. So the Holy Roman Empire infantry breaks, and there's still quite a lot of Danish cavalry left to start mopping up the rest of the Teutonic Knights, who have, as I say, been excellent in this battle, getting quite a lot of kills. But the problem was with them is they were too focused on my cavalry up here and too focused on my archers that they didn't really engage the infantry quick enough, and that gave Denmark time to break through his side, and then it kind of left Holy Roman Empire with nothing left. Pike and shot, he had his cavalry, but Denmark just ended up with too much troops left at the end of the battle. It was
victory is ours, but only by
it was the it's the whole point of teamwork. If you can weaken one opponent whilst keeping the other one at bay, then you've got your enough forces then to double team the other player. But yeah, as I say, it was a really good game, and as you can see from the statistics, a very close battle. I got 604 kills with 53 captures. Criminal Copperkill getting 775 kills with a whopping 365 captures. Pike and Shot getting 809 kills with 169 captures, so very nice kills and captures there. And Grailknights Storm getting a respectable 600 kills. I think me and Grailknights Storm sort of fought pretty much the same on our side. You know, I was getting beaten by the Holy Roman Empire, he was getting beaten by Denmark. The difference was he was getting beaten more by Denmark, by Criminal Copperkill, because I was assisting as well. it meant that Criminal Copperkill came out with more troops for when he faced the Holy Roman Empire. So kills wise, my general didn't do too well. He was too busy getting shot up by by crossbowmen. My Drazina, some of them got quite a few kills. Others were kind of stuck in melee, I think, against superior cavalry. So again, not too bad. Dismounted Devour, even though they were getting charged by Teutonic Knights, they still got a respectable amount of kills. Especially this one with 51. That's quite impressive from them. My Dismounted Boyarsons, I think this is the problem I have with the Dismounted Boyarsons. A couple of them got 40 odd kills, which is not bad. One of them got 3 kills, and if you look at the British Axemen, a lot of them getting sort of 40, 45, 38 kills. The British Axemen are so much cheaper, and well, they're like almost half the price of the Dismounted Boyarsons, so you can get twice as much bang for your buck. And they still put up a respectable fight. So, and I've always been under the impression that the Dismounted Boyarsons and the Dismounted Drazina are way too overpriced for what they are capable of. But I mean, they did okay, except for this unit. They got 3 kills. I'm not sure what kind of fight that one was in. So yeah, some great kills from my British Axemen. My Woodsmen not doing too bad. They were there just to soak up enemy charges, but I mean this one got 30 kills, so that one was not doing too bad. And the rest of them getting practically nothing. So yeah, some respectable kills all the way across the board. Nothing too impressive, but as I say, I was there just to keep the Holy Roman Empire off our backs and send in some support to Criminal Copperkill. It's the aim of a rush to try and take out one player and then double team the other. If a battle turns into 2 1 versus 1s, it kind of depends on the players. Whereas if you double team one player, it doesn't matter whether you're a good player or not. You are sending troops into a battle that your opponent cannot afford to get involved in a fight. So it's with 2 versus 2s, it's all about teamwork and understanding that it's okay for you to lose so long as your ally comes out with a lot more troops to then take the victory. But yeah, as I say, really good battle, really enjoyed it, and really enjoyed bringing Russia to the fight. So yeah, hopefully I'll be able to bring some more battles to you guys. I've got some battles in the works, some more tactical videos talking about some different formations and things coming up. So I shall try and get those recorded and uploaded for you. Other than that, thank you very much for watching, and I shall see you all on the next battlefield.